Today we're going to check out the new heroes in Age of Empire Mobile, and hopefully these heroes increase our experience in Age of Empire Mobile gameplay. I don't know if this is going to be something like Age of Empire Mobile guide in general, but definitely I'm going to give you some tips and tricks over these 5 heroes. So yeah, let's jump directly there. New heroes are coming. Heroes will be introduced one by one through the event, obviously legendary advent. Tap preview to check them out. So let's check them out. Oh my god, I'm excited. When something new is coming in the game, I have little fear, to be honest, because it can be super broken, and same time it can actually look very nice on paper, but in reality when you test these heroes to not be what you was expecting. So let's check it out and preview these heroes. So I'm going to start with Scipio Africanus. Let's check it out, this bad boy. Now something that I noticed, his full infantry is from the warrior, and infantry, okay, not infantry, it's swordsman. I don't know why I actually use the word infantry, but it's a swordsman. So we're having very solid warriors in point of what kind of heroes we're having in this military specialty. So going over, the first spell is recovering your units every second. Some percentage might bonus increase the damage of your other heroes' signature active skills by some percentage. So obviously I'm start seeing something like a commander, because you know the signature skill is from for the deputies by some percentage, and increase their activational chance by some percentage. Now this one is at level 1. This one is at level 1. Obviously here the percentage is going to jump, and believe it or not, I believe this is a very solid skill. But the thing I don't like is this 300 rage cost, because that's a lot. If you check out the most of the heroes, either they are less rage cost or they are like more rage cost, but the first time to trigger that, when you enter in the combat or something like this, the rage cost is reduced. So this one is going to be a slow spell, but in the same time I actually very much like this commander skill. So let's check out the second one, African Conquest. The first one was Discipline Code. Oh my god, the Discipline Code. This hit very hard, to be fair. African Conquest, after your commander activates their signature active skills, reduce damage taken by your troop by some percentage. After triggering 5 times, your troops enter the Conquest state. Interesting. Activation count does not accumulate during this period for 6 seconds. During this state, your commander's signature active skills can deal critical strike. Here is the thing with the critical strike. It can go max to 75. I don't know, back in the days when I started playing Age of Empire Mobile, I was like, how to say it, I was like, I'm going to make my heroes 100% critical strike rate, because critical is basically double damage at the end of the day, the majority of the cases. That is in the gamer's mind. But yeah, here we're having just fixed, but still 75, that means from 4 hits, 3 hits is going to be critical strike. So it's still decent one. Critical strike increased by some percentage, and your activational chance by some percentage, and your troop immediately recover units, recover rate 29% up to some percentage, might bonus triggered up to 1 time every 3 seconds. To be fair, Age of Empire Mobile is one of the games where there is here 2 seconds, there is 3 seconds, there is 5 seconds, there is 9 seconds, some little seconds. So you know, building this strong synergy in your legion, especially when you have like three heroes per legion, is wild. After taking skill damage upon entering in the battle, immediately enters the Conquest state for 6 seconds. Triggers up to 1 time every 60 seconds. I don't like this 1 time every 60 seconds. That is like 1 minute, to be fair, but still, I really like this signature skill. So if I have to make little overview, The only thing that I don't like on the commander skill is the rage regeneration 300, increased damage bonus, but rest I really like, and the signature skill is a very good one. It's a solid one, especially, you know, getting some criticals, even though that, to be fair, infantry are not doing that much damage. Okay, they're just not doing that damage. He's a buff, obviously, and swordsman. So let's jump over the next one. This is going to be Dae Jang Geum. It's two types. It's pikeman, in the same time cavalry. Is giving some buffs and recovery. Obviously, these heroes that are giving some buffs and recovery, they already have their there is already very solid commanders, and this is something like on the place number 2 and place number 3 in the Legion. I'm not believer that a hero that is buff or recovery should be in the commander position, but I may get surprised. Okay, so let's check out the skills. Okay, the commander one, recover your units recovery rate some percentage and increase the strategy damage dealt to your other heroes by some percentage. This is also boosting the deputies. Obviously, these days we're noticing that a lot of the hero builds or creation is also to boost the rest of the Legion. It's not only do brutal amount of damage and your hero is going to get something in return. It's always something like for the rest of the heroes. And the second one, this one, what was the name? Clever Hands. The next one is Elixir Feast. Recover your units recovery rate some percentage and increase the strategy and might of your other two heroes by amount equals to some percentage of Dae Jang Geum corresponding base attributes. Stack up 3 times and cannot be dispelled. The signature skill, I honestly don't like it that much. I know it's level 1, okay, I know it's level 1, but first of all is strategy and might, and at the same time the commander skill is something like a strategy only related. So if you use her as a commander, you most likely don't want to have any might hero in your in your Legion. But yeah, the signature skill, I don't like it that much. Let me know your personal opinion in the comments below for each of the new heroes in Age of Empire Mobile in the comments below. Just share your thoughts. What experience most likely you're going to have in your Age of Empire Mobile gameplay if you have this hero? If you have Dae Jang Geum or if you have Scipio Africanus. So far I really like Scipio Africanus, I'm not gonna lie, but I have mixed feelings about Dae Jang Geum. I don't know if I even pronounced the name the correct way. Let's jump over the next one. William the Conqueror. We will never be slaves and we will be a conqueror. Like this conquer stuffs. Now this bad boy is against support and buff, so obviously he have to support and buff somebody else in the as a commander. But let's check out the commanders. Commander skill recovers your units recovery some percentage and reduce armor and strategy of the primary target commander. So it's not over the target or the Legion, it's the primary commander target, which I don't know, have mixed feelings about this. Additionally, when by some numbers, additionally when your troop deals damage, there is some percentage chance to calculate using the WoW of the enemy troop might defense or strategy defense for 9 seconds. It gets 100 initial range upon entering in the battle. This is what I talk about the Scipio. I mean, he's 300. This bad boy is getting 100 when entering in the battle. So I think this is just better from this 300. But yeah, the commander skill, I really don't like it. I really don't like this commander skill. So let's check here out the signature skill. What is all about there? I think for this type of heroes that are buff, support or whatever, recovery, the signature skill is from where the power is coming. I think the commander skill is not what you want to have as a commander. Here we're having turn-based just have to mention that. Signature skill. If your heroes have completely different signature skill types, marks those skill types. Okay, we already know. Marks this once every 6 seconds. Reduce damage taken by your troops by some percentage, and additionally reduce the damage taken from skills of market types by some percentage for 3 seconds. Now for the mark, let's check it out. What is this thing? Mark can be placed on the hero or troops. Skill will trigger effects based on the number of the marks. I'm a little confused. Obviously this is my first overview over this hero, but I'm a little confused from this signature skill. So still, if I get confused over something, I'm going to give you one life tip. If I get confused over something, should I actually get this hero or not? I don't get this hero because I'm confused and I don't clearly understand what something's supposed to mean. I just don't go for this hero. Obviously this hero, with the time, people are going to test it, or I'm just going to get it and test it, but not heavily invest in something that I don't understand quite well. Whether the enemy troops activates a skill or market types, increase your hero's same type skill damage by some percentage. Strategy bonus. Again, I'm not quite sure about the signature skill. Need to be tested. Let's say it like this. Need to be tested. William the Conqueror. And let's jump over to the next one. Zhao Yun. Okay, let's check out Zhao Yun. It's a cavalry. And yeah, first of all, it's attack and buff. So this may be going to be a bad boy, that maybe is going to be a commander. And as you can see, deals smite damage to the enemy troops, some percentage, and enemy troop, and applies 1 stack of quote dragon mark for 15 seconds. Now I'm not going to lie, but oh my god, there is just so many effects that is happening. There's just so many effects. You apply this, apply that, new stuffs are presented in the game. So what the quote dragon supposed to mean or something like this, you just have to remember so many things in your head. Mark for 15 seconds, so we can actually check it out. Mark can be placed on the hero or troops. Skills will trigger effect based on the number of the marks. Well, reducing damage taken by your troops by some percentage for 6 seconds. Get 100 initial range upon entering in the battle. So this thing is going to execute 2 times more faster from Scipio Africanus. 2 times more faster, because it's going to be 150. This is the type of heroes that I really like. That is striking very fast. So from the commander, I like the commander, by the way, commander skill for 6 seconds when reducing damage taken by your troops. I'm not so sure is it going to be a good commander, still needs some testing at the end of the day, but the commander skill so far from what I saw till now is maybe not looking, is maybe looking the best way. And here comes the deputy. After any of your heroes activate a secondary strike skill, applies 1 stack of the quote dragon mark to the enemy troop for 15 seconds. This is very nice, but is in great synergy with the commander skill. So I start thinking more and more this hero maybe is going to be a commander one. When 3 stacks are reached, consume all quote dragon mark applied by your troops and deals smite damage equals to some percentage. Additionally has 17%, it can go up, chance to mark to make Zhao Yun and the next hero entering in the double attack state for 3 seconds. This skill has some percentage base critical rate. I really like critical rates. I'm a huge fan of critical rates. I really like the big numbers, the red numbers, and etc. So I really like this signature skill, I'm not gonna lie, for Zhao Yun. Definitely I like it. And finally we're having Alp Arslan. Let's check it out, this bad boy. What he is doing is attack and active. This is giving something like Yeah, this maybe is going to be a commander. Okay, what is the spell of this bad boy? Deals smite damage to up to 3 enemy troops in the fan-shaped area in front. The damage is for some percentage and applies flee effect, causing them to take might damage that ignores some percentage defense, damage rate, some percentage might bonus every second for 9 seconds. Grant 100 initial rage upon entering in the combat. Now maybe this, from the 5 heroes I saw, this is a solid commander. From my personal opinion, I think this is a solid commander. I really like this commander skill that this bad boy is having. So yeah, huge thumbs up over this commander skill. Now the signature skill applies the flee effect to the enemy troops, causing them to take might damage that ignores some percentage defense, damage rate, some percentage might bonus every second for 9 seconds. If the enemy troop already has the flee state, applies by your troop, immediately settle the existing flee state up to one statement per 3 seconds. Immediately settle the existing flee state. Earthsleep Hope cannot cause a critical strike damage. The signature skill is looking very solid also, but I have this feeling that it may have an issue with the commander skill, because it's applying flee effect. The commander skill here, we are having a restriction over the flee effect. If the enemy troop already has a flee state applied by your troops, immediately settles the existing flee state up to 1 settlement per 3 seconds. Still. Earth splitting hoof cannot cause a critical strike damage. Interesting. But yeah, this signature is also very nice, but this hero need to have some tests again. Sorry, I cannot just say this hero is the best one. From the 5 heroes I already checked it out, I think Alp Arslan, the commander skill of this bad boy, is really deserve your attention. But there is an issue between these two skills that need to be tested, and definitely see how the things are performing on the battlefield. This is a hero's on paper, so you know, we need some testing after all. So yeah guys, just wanted to make this video over the new heroes that are coming in Age of Empires Mobile. Are those heroes is going to increase our experience in Age of Empires Mobile gameplay? I'm not quite sure. This is going to be something like a small guide for you at the end of the day, or just my personal opinion that I strongly believe is what most likely is going to be. So yeah guys, this will be for this video. Don't forget to hit one like on the video, it matters a lot. If you get that far further in the video, you can subscribe to this channel. I'm making Age of Empires Mobile videos, and yeah, you can check it out this one if you're interested in more information. I wish you a great day and see you in the next video.